All right, we are back at it with a brand new DNX podcast with the boy Reaper Doc and Exhibit. And we got a lot to talk about today. First off, let's start off with some huge drama in the motocross industry right now. There's like drama going on between the Lawrences and Deegan and Anderson a little bit.
Nice.
I'm also on the screen right here. I'll show you guys all the topics that we're going to talk about in the pod. I think that would be a little bit of a cool idea. Somewhere on the screen, I'll show you guys what we're going to talk about. But let's start us off with this beef because this is actually a pretty wild story. And the first time so the first time I heard the story was via Discord because someone sent it to me and there's like, there's no way this can be true, where the Lawrence brothers banned Hayden Deegan from going to the Australian Open to race the event. And I'm like, there's no way. Like, that's just like a stupid rumor. Why would you even do that? However, it might be true. Like, seriously, it might be true. So I was digging into this. So I watched Cooksy's video and he gave out some great facts, or not facts. He gave out some great points, some details and stuff. And then I asked on Twitter and I was like, yo, any truth to this? And a couple of you guys messaged me back and showed me screenshots of Instagram comments from the boy Duffy. And he was like, basically what Cooksey said was pretty accurate. I don't really agree with some of his stuff, but this one's on point. I'm like, wow. That's pretty freaking interesting. Because I heard rumors that, for example, like he wasn't necessarily banned from the event, but he was like, he just couldn't make money off the event from the promoters. So I don't really know.
But why?
Yeah, I don't know.
I wonder,
just a weird situation.
I don't understand. Why would you? Why? That's like why?
Like, wouldn't you think that like it would be great for the sport to have those over? Because they're not even racing in the same class.
I was gonna say, like, I don't even understand what that would do to benefit them, like if anything it would just bring more people there to watch them, also promote that series. Like, I don't really see any reason why that would make sense.
I mean,
unless there's just like straight personal beef going on,
So to that point, I was digging into the comments and stuff and watching Cooksy's video, and he brought up a point where he wouldn't be banned. I'm putting this in quotations. He wouldn't be banned from the event if he called up Chance and or Hunter, one of the two, maybe both, and apologized for comments.
Chance is cooked.
That's all I saw. That's what I saw. I don't know if that's true or not, but I did see that, and I'm to myself, I'm like, it's kind of stupid. You guys, like,
super dumb.
If you want beef in races, right? You want that rivalry, Chance versus Deegan. You want that rivalry. When Deegan potentially goes 450, it's going to be Deegan and Jet and Hunter and Chase. You want that rivalry, and to ban them from the Australian Open looks horrible because why would you do that? I don't know why. I heard like I think it was in Cooksy's video that he said that it was in their contract to allow who they want to race or something like that. Like, they can ban riders from the event. I'm like, why is that even in the contract?
Why? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So yeah, some kind of drama to start us off.
Wait, it was in the Lawrence brothers contract?
Yeah.
Why that doesn't make any sense? Why do they have a say in anything?
I
mean,
because they're going back for the first time in a while and they're racing.
What does Ando have to do with it?
So Ando got told the same exact thing, that he wasn't allowed to race unless like he apologized.
Oh, for their beef early in Soupy?
Yeah.
Man, that's
but Ando, I necessarily haven't watched Australian Supercross a lot, honestly, but from what I've read and what I've listened to, that he's gone there multiple different times and he has a good relationship with that promoter. But they not allowing him to, I'm going to say not allowing him to get any money, I would assume, from the event. So even if he went, he wouldn't get any money. So there's actually no point in going to the event. So,
and the team's not going to send him across the world. That's
exactly.
if that's true, that's petty. like,
Very petty.
like if it is just over some comments and like we just got our feelings hurt, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But
It's gonna make A1
2024.
very, very interesting, and it's gonna make the season when Deegan goes 450 very, very interesting in my opinion, because now there's like even more of a rivalry between the Deegans and the Lawrences, and yeah, I just thought it was kind of strange, man. Just an off-season beef. Like, do we really?
Maybe it's just like a publicity thing, you know? There's no such thing as bad publicity, so maybe they're just creating off-season hype.
It
I
could
don't know.
be.
Could make sense, you know?
Yeah. I thought it was kind of funny because like Cooksey posted that video, and I'm over here like to the boy Mix. I was like, there's no way that's true, bro. Like, why would that even be accurate? And then Deegan posted an IG photo or video, and he was like, well, this was prep for Australian Open. And then dot. And then Ando did the same thing. He was like, I was planning on going to Australia, and dot.
Oh, really? I didn't see that one.
Yeah, they both posted it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so kind of a weird situation.
Super strange.
Very, very strange.
I don't understand why. It just seems so strange. Like, if it is just from, like, I guess the Anderson one, I don't want to say makes sense, but like there was some on track beef and whatnot. But I don't know, man. Words.
I think personally, if like, yeah, maybe the Lawrences, I think even Cooksey mentioned this in his video. Yeah, the Lawrences probably will take a dip in popularity at the event if Deegan wins, because Deegan is probably the most like well-known rider right now, right? Like most popular rider. And yeah, they'll take a hit for sure. But isn't that good for the sport? Like having the best riders at an off-season event to promote the sport worldwide?
I don't know. I don't really see. Like, I mean, because it's not this. If it was the same class, I mean, that would make more sense. But it doesn't really even, unless they're just upset that they want their autograph line super long and they're worried that Deegan's is going to be longer. You know, I don't know. That's super strange to me. I was really hoping when I heard all this beef, you were going to tell me like, I don't know, Hayden did something like actually wild. You know what I mean? Like Hayden keyed their car or something. You know?
No, nothing.
I mean,
and I want to say
kind
this
of a
too.
letdown.
Yeah, like because we're gonna do watch parties for it, obviously, right? We're gonna do watch parties for World Supercross this weekend, which we'll get into, and the Australian Open, because that's gonna be a big event. Like I heard potentially like Chance might be there. Cooper Webb might be there, I think, or something like that. Same guys from same guys from like Paris might be there. So like obviously I wanted to do a watch party, and having those guys there too would make it even better. But yeah, kind of just a disappointment, I guess, just from hearing all this. And I want to say this. I don't know any facts. I don't know any, I'm just relaying back the information that I got. I don't want to don't come at me for anything
monetized.
I'm just reading the facts from what I've seen and listening to the facts, or stating
reading potential facts.
Excuse me, not facts, potential details that might be facts.
Lawyer Doc. Here you
go. Yeah, so kind of a strange situation to start out the week.
Super weird.
It kind of makes A1 more exciting to see because like Deegan also posted on IG like A1 ready, or like A1 question mark. So like he might be racing A1. I thought it was also funny. Levi posted on IG too.
Levi did the same exact thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be pretty funny if they both both went to A1 and raced A1 against each other.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of the guys right now, right?
Yeah. So I thought it was kind of a little nice banter back and forth in the off season. I think they're friends and boys, and they don't like, I would say, let the shit talk get to them, right? They banter back and forth, right? So that's always good. But yeah, kind of a weird situation to start out the week for this drama.
Very odd.
But on a more exciting note, we got the official news of Prado signing with Kawasaki. Officially, that happened a couple of days ago. As you guys are watching this or listening to this, and what did you think, Doc? I thought personally, the post with like the pink gear with the Kawasaki group, bro, it looks so clean.
I agree.
But what did you think?
Yeah, I was gonna say first thing, that kit was absolutely sick.
Yeah.
Definitely kind of considered buying it just to have it, even though I don't ride anymore. I was like, that kit's fire. Yeah, I mean, I feel like when especially long term, relationships end like that. I mean, the biggest surprise to me was he broke his Red Bull contract to go to Monster Energy,
Yeah.
and I guess it was a lifelong, like, his professional career Red Bull contract.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, that's a pretty big deal in my opinion, I
Chase did the
mean,
same thing from going to Honda to KTM.
yeah. I mean, it's a big move. And I mean, we've seen this happen a million times through the years of someone moving from a bike brand or, Austrian versus Japanese for so long. And then when they get to the other side, either they're like really good or not,
Yeah.
I mean, the one that surprised me was when Kitchen, I mean, they're both Japanese bikes, but when Kitchen went from Star over to Kawi,
Hmm.
he looked so good, where it's usually the other way around. So I'm curious to see how he does. I would assume that Kawi has to be so different than what he
That's what
was
I'm saying
riding. You
too.
know what I mean? I
Um,
mean, like not even close to the same thing.
yeah, so I heard his contract, they signed it back in January from when
Yeah.
he was doing Supercross and stuff. And I heard that the contract was like way out there, so he was like there's no reason not to sign him. Like
Sure.
Kawasaki
Sure.
like put a lot of money into it.
And it. Yeah.
And I heard it's a 3-year deal, plus a rider option. Or maybe a team option, rider option, one of those in the 4th year. So you
Hmm.
don't really see that too often,
Yeah, it's a big
right?
deal.
So that's huge because normally contracts are about 2 years plus. I think it's 2 years plus a rider option. Um, so you don't normally see 3+1s, which is
Yeah,
pretty
it's pretty
nice.
crazy.
Now we're definitely 100% getting 3 years of Prado and Kawasaki. The first year might not go like
Yeah.
super great. I think it's still going to be pretty good because he's a world class rider, right?
Sure.
I think Supercross is going to be a test for him on that Kawasaki for sure. New bike, doesn't really do a lot of Supercross. Obviously, he's testing now and
Yeah.
stuff like that, right? But um, new bike, new team. How does he adapt to the Supercross tracks? But motocross, I think he could definitely do extremely well. But I think
I
you take
mean,
this first year and you use it as like a building block for that next year, right? And then the year after
right.
that is maybe next year potential champion in motocross or something like that, or contender, right?
Absolutely.
And then the
Yeah.
next year after that, that third year is, yeah, he is a top 2 contender for either supercross, motocross. So I think it's very,
Yeah.
very interesting to see how it all plays out.
I mean, he was pretty stinking good last year. I mean, when he came over for Soupy for a little bit,
Yeah.
like he really surprised me. I thought he was going to be very mid,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he did really, really well. So I don't know. Obviously, Cowie's a new bike. Is the 450 new too, or
I,
is it just 250?
I believe it
Yeah,
is.
I'm pretty sure it's all new. So that's going to go, again, one of two ways. It's either going to be they figured it out and it's going to be sick, or it's going to take till year 3 to get the bike figured out. And then, but I mean, he's insane. So I don't know. I feel like he might be a little bit of a sleeper in Soupy. I mean, he adapted really fast last year. And I think if he would have stayed last year, he would have definitely been top 5 pretty consistently.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know. I can see it. And Ando's fast, and maybe that team's just going to gel well together.
Yeah, I really hope they do gel well. Gel well. That sounds weird,
Gel
but but I did see. I think Pulp tweeted this out that Kawasaki, like, you don't really have a rider that's very outspoken like Prado with the bike, and so that's going to be
Oh yeah.
interesting to see if he like criticizes it a little bit, because you don't normally see that. Like, I don't think I've ever heard Ando criticize the bike. Right? He's always, I just got to get better.
Yeah.
So I wonder if now that might not ever happen, right? But that is something to look forward to in the new season. But you're right. I mean, he kind of started off slow, right, in those first couple of rounds, and then he started picking it up. He won a heat
Yeah.
race at San
Yeah.
Francisco. I mean, it was downpouring, but he still
Yep,
won a
I
heat
was there.
race.
I remember the water.
But yeah, so I think by the end of the year, Supercross is going to be so much better than like the first few, maybe 5-6 rounds, right?
Yeah.
And then motocross, I'm very interested to see what he can do motocross, because we know he's a 2-time champ, right? We know that he's very good, but how will he gel, like you mentioning, on the Kawasaki Outdoors? He also has to learn all new tracks. He has one less day to learn them. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that all works out and how well he gels with that bike.
That Kawi is pretty sick too. I saw it when I was at Pro Circuit. They had a couple in the back. They're like small. They look
Very narrow.
tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like short.
Short.
From like
Yeah,
wheelbase
wheel to
length.
wheel.
It seemed really tiny. And even the guy, I was like, "Whoa, that thing's sick." And he goes, "Small." I was like, "Yeah, it seems tiny. Like, what the heck?" So I mean, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, I really want to see also too how Anderson and Prado like work together, right? Because Anderson really hasn't had like a teammate in a while, right? Because he had AC at the beginning, kind of got hurt. He had AC last year, which was he was also hurt. And he really didn't have a teammate outdoors. He had Brock for a couple rounds, but I want to see how Anderson does with that. I want to see if they like feed off each other a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm very excited for Prado.
Ando's really good in Supercross, obviously.
Yeah.
And I mean, that could be a really cool mix because Ando's really good. Soupy, obviously, Jorge's really good in outdoors, and that's always been kind of where Jason struggled a little bit is outdoors.
Yeah.
I think that has more to do with his. Doesn't he have some altitude thing?
Yeah, the altitude sickness.
But I mean, obviously, the other tracks are at sea level and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be cool. I mean, I'm just stoked to see more people that are fast over here, that just to mix it up more.
Yeah, and I think with Prado coming over too, it will allow other GP guys to make that switch easier. Obviously, we had Kaida Wolf come over this offseason and practice some Supercross. I even heard, and we'll talk about this when we get to the Paris Supercross topic, but he wanted to race Paris, but they wasn't allowed. But I think Kaida comes over in a couple of years. I heard a rumor too that he's going to go to PC. So Prado and Kaida Wolf at PC Kawasaki.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I
mean, that would make sense.
Yeah, and like I've heard this for a while now that the Coonan brothers are supposed to come over at one point. So I mean, we have a bunch of good guys moving from GPs over, and it's going to make for incredible racing. And I think I feel like Prado's like the first one in a while to make that jump since like Roxon.
I was just gonna say, what's the last one? It would be Roxon, right? Like,
yeah,
at that level.
Yeah. So I think it is, right? Pretty sure. But
was Marv before Kenny?
I guess Marv was after Kenny. Around this. Yeah. But he came over too, so Marv, Kenny. But it hasn't been many, right? It hasn't been many, so it's very exciting to see that. I'm very excited for A1. Makes A1 so much more exciting now. So
A1 sick.
Yeah. And then so this past weekend, honestly, we had so much happening, bro. Like, I don't know about you. Did you watch the Tyson Jake Paul fight? Okay. I didn't. I just watched it, like, highlights.
Absolutely not. I saw Mike Tyson's butt cheeks and I was out. You know what I mean? I was out.
That was everywhere, bro. That was everywhere. Oh my gosh. I couldn't scroll.
Funny, but
bro, I couldn't scroll Twitter without seeing that. I'm not even kidding you. That's going to be a meme for a lifetime now. I've already seen memes with his butt cheeks out and like football team logos on it and just be like, yeah, they're bad. Like they're ass.
It was like the scene where he says something and then turns around and walks away,
Yeah.
And it was like when I tell my wife I'm going to go play games or something. It was so funny.
So anyway, yeah. So that happened Friday night. We also had Arenacross happen on Friday night. We had Paris Supercross on Saturday and Sunday. We had Australian Supercross this past week. Like, bro, there was so much motocross stuff. We had like sports, Tyson fight, Jake Paul fight. We had basketball, NBA. We had a bunch of things happening this weekend. Hey, I'm a basketball fan, okay?
I'm sorry.
But since this is a moto pod a little bit, we'll talk about Arenacross, Paris, and World Supercross here this weekend. So Arenacross, I want to touch on this briefly, and we can maybe even talk about this topic. First, I don't know if you guys know this, but well, you guys should know this, but Motocross the Game, official gaming sponsor, right? Gaming partner. And they had the MTG Banners at
baby.
the Arenacross
At the race, IRL.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say stadium arenas. I don't know what they're called. Arenas, I think. But they had like the banners on by the stands and stuff, so that was super freaking sick to see. I actually wasn't expecting that. I know like you guys are like partnering up and everything, but I wasn't expecting the banners to be on or at the race.
Yeah.
So, and they also did a little like commercial for the game, which was pretty freaking sick. And the only letdown that I had was there's no preview lap. Okay, where's my preview lap?
So apparently it was unknown to me at the time of talking, but apparently we're supposed to do preview laps from January on. So my bad.
Doc let me down a little bit.
I did. My bad.
No, okay. But overall,
I didn't know. It was part of, but we're not behind. Okay, it's not. It was a part of the deal.
But yeah. So honestly, though, it was super cool to see the MTG stuff there. I knew that you guys were gonna be the partners and stuff, but I just didn't expect to see that stuff. So that was very, very sick.
I'm trying to go to one of the rounds, get a little picture in front of it. You know?
Yeah, that'd be sick. That'd be very, very sick. I mean, they're coming to Prescott, but it's the same night as Supercross. So sorry, but I do want to bring up what happened at Arenacross. So first time ever, there was an electric versus gas race. What was it? Clash
of Cash?
Yeah, Clash of Cash, I believe it was. So that officially happened at the race. It was 3 electric, basically Starks, and then 3 gas. Funny side note, Michael Hicks was able to race either one and chose the Stark because he actually raced both classes. He raced the Stark class and the Pro class.
Well, I mean, I feel like that makes sense. That Stark is, I would assume, way faster than a 250F off the line.
Well, I think a couple of them are racing 450s too.
Oh, really? I thought it was only a 250 thing. Oh.
I think they're racing some 450s in there. Don't quote me. I don't watch enough Arenacross. But the race was actually pretty good. There was 3 electrics, 3 gas. But what's your thoughts? I posted a video on it yesterday talking about it, and I actually also posted one with Kalana pulling a hole shot for like the actual class, which was pretty freaking sick to watch. Shouts to the boy Kalana.
Yeah, he ripped that.
Yeah. But a lot of people hate on it. I mean, there's some cool comments, and then like majority of the comments were like, yeah, this is like not good.
Electric or just
like electric
in general,
like for like the future of racing and stuff.
Yeah, it's that's a whole interesting topic. I mean, it's cool, and I really like electric bikes, you know, and I know this is a little rabbit trail, but they're awesome. And I'm thinking about getting, like, don't tell my kids, but like a little electric pit bike for Christmas so we can rip around on, which would be sick because we could rip around on it here in the neighborhood and nobody's gonna care, and places like Hangtown, which are getting encroached on by schools and stuff, could go away. Would be awesome if it was just like an electric only place. But I will say, when we went and watched Bogle at Hemet, and it was sick when he was by himself. Well, then we went to Fox the next day and was like, yeah, listen, bro, sorry, but listening to the Monster Energy Kawi with McAdoo just absolutely wide open the whole time is a whole different thing. You know what I mean? Like it's sick in some ways, but yeah, like an entire stadium full, like if Supercross just went completely electric, it'd be.
I think it'd be hard to watch. The racing might be good, but
it'd be like a baseball game, bro. Just boring. You'd be sitting there eating hot dogs the whole time, and they're click, 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 click through the whoops. Like, you know what I mean? Like I gotta have.
I mean, that's true.
Where's my adrenaline? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean that's basically everybody's points in the comment section, bro. In both videos I posted, it was, yeah, they're cool to rip around on and they're fun to like ride and stuff, but when you mix it, it's not a good mix. And I would rather have like gas and stuff. I mean, all my friends too like the gas. And so I actually saw Jeff Walker post a video today, And just recently, he broke his collarbone. I don't know. I haven't watched the full video yet, but it looks like it happened with a Stark involved. So,
Yeah,
that's not good. Not a good look
yeah.
because he was
That was
prepping for next season.
that was in SoCal. I almost went and watched him ride because I saw him post that he was going to be there, and I actually had some free time, and I was down there, and I didn't. But yeah, they were doing some Stark thing that was there. But the mixed classes, I think, is pretty interesting too. Like to me, as a rider, it seems like if I was on a 450 racing somebody on a Stark, it seems like it would be really dangerous, right? Like a lot of me not cross jumping you is being able to hear you behind me,
True. Very true.
and someone might say, well, Doc, just don't cross jump. Well, there are times when I'm going to, and
I
it's
mean,
fine, right?
take for
You know,
example from Arenacross that night, there was a double before the triple. A lot of people
right?
were going right to left to hit the berm to go outside. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that's technically cross jumping, right? But that's the line. And
Or even
so,
just cutting over on a track, right?
yeah,
Like if you come out of a corner and you're inside and you need to shoot all the way to the outside to then apex a corner or something. I mean, if we're both wide open on 450s or something, I know that you're there, obviously, because I can hear it.
Mhm.
But if you're on e-bike, I feel like, and I asked Justin that in person, like, does this feel a little dangerous to you? Like if you're both wide open going up, Mount St. Helens, dude's wide open on a 450, cannot hear a dang thing, and you're right next to him, right out of his peripheral, and he just cuts over. I mean, you're cooked, right? Like there's
yeah.
nothing. And yeah, he agreed that yeah, it's a little sketchy, but I don't know.
I mean, I think even racing with like Starks on Starks too would be kind of dangerous because to that same exact
Yeah.
point, you can't really hear them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And like you're mentioning
Your
that
horns.
you can't really hear them, and so like you would have to rely on your peripheral vision, and blind spots. I mean, seriously,
Yeah.
blind spots is huge, and you can't hear that, and you're gonna cross, and then you're gonna take that guy out. That guy can break a collarbone, or because of the way they land, or something like that.
Yeah.
So, I think what Josh Hill does with his Stark, going around skate parks and like
Sick.
free riding with it, so freaking cool, so
Yeah.
sick. I don't know if it's going to be the future of racing.
I don't know either.
I don't think anybody wants it to be the future of racing from my comment section. So, but I wanted to bring up the topic because it's very interesting because it happened at the race, first time ever. So,
Doesn't F1 have an E class?
yes, they do, but they also have mirrors.
Well, yes. Well, I just mean from the standpoint of like maybe there's eventually just an E class, like how MXGP has the Blue
EMX, I believe.
Crew, or they do
sure
the
it's
125s.
Yeah, isn't it EMX or?
Yeah, whatever.
I think
You know what
it's
I'm
something
talking
like
about.
that. Yeah.
How they do the 125, it's all Blue Crew, whatever. Like maybe eventually we have that. I don't know. I have a hard time believing.
I think it would still be
Like,
pretty dangerous for like a
yeah.
Supercross race, in particular. Like
Yeah.
Arenacross is not as big, right? Like I understand that aspect. They want to see what it can be in the future. Now, don't get me wrong. This could be we're talking out our ass, and it will become the next big thing, right?
Yeah.
But as we're sitting right here in our chairs, I think it's a little dangerous.
Well, yeah, and rev limiters are cool. So that's my
Motocross
thing.
sounds are awesome. Shout out to
And
MTG for posting in sounds. But
and it smells good. That's can't forget
also
that.
the fumes are great when you go to a Supercross and they don't open the roof, Had
Nice.
that happen. But yeah, so that happened at Arenacross over the weekend. And so I kind of wanted to bring that up. Big shout out to Kalana for racing it. I think that was maybe almost like a last minute thing. Also, Trevor Stewart, I believe, was also like a last minute thing for him. So big shout
I think it all was.
Yeah, so big shout to everybody that was kind of involved in that, making it happen. So it was very awesome to watch. And then let's get into Paris Supercross here because we did a little watch party for that, and that was fantastic. Well, I would say not fantastic. It was good because the first 2 hours of the Saturday broadcast, they didn't show it on MG or MXGP TV. It wasn't working.
Really?
Literally, it was not working. I paid for it. I mean, everywhere across like social media was the same for everybody. We paid for it. We went to it and it says buy now. And we click buy now. And then we go click the one we want. It says you already have this. And then we go back and it says buy now.
Oh, no.
And it was just stuck for 2 hours. Shout out to Zelo on Twitch. He was streaming it on Twitch. I don't know how that didn't get banned. I don't know, but it worked out for all of us because we got to watch it.
Maybe he just said he was hot tubs and bikinis, that category. Nothing is banned on there.
Maybe. I don't know, but
Watch parties, you know? Anyway.
But big shout out to him for streaming that because we were able to watch it. Side note, I definitely got blocked by sharing that screen on my screen, so that wasn't great. So can't do that. I even had like the Twitch up, so it wasn't my screen watching it, but it still got blocked, unfortunately.
Tragic.
Yeah, I know. So that was kind of RIP. But yeah, it was honestly pretty good. It was actually really good racing between like Hunter, Jet, Cooper, Malcolm. We had a really good battle between Cooper and Malcolm throughout the entire weekend. Jet was a man of his own, man. Let's be real. He should have went 6-0. He crashed in the second one because he ran into a lapper, and the lapper didn't even know he was there. Yeah, so, but overall, pretty good racing. The track was actually really, really good. I like the track. The whoops were freaking dangerous, though. I'll tell you that. But they were actually pretty good. Man, dude, Tommy V went for a wild ride into the net.
Dude, the nets, it worked. Like,
if that net wasn't there, he's flying across to the other side, bro.
Yeah, the nets really. All right, I'm team nets now, you know? After seeing that one, I was like, all right, we can have the nets up, you know?
It was crazy. If that net wasn't there, he might have been injured.
Yeah, like bad.
Yeah, so shout out to the Nets for sure.
Shout out to the Nets, you know what I mean?
But seriously, the racing overall between like Cooper, Malcolm was very, very good. We also had a couple surprises. Aranda, he was freaking flying.
That the dude in the Army?
Yeah, dude, he was flying.
Yeah.
We had a couple of 250 guys who were riding really good on Saturday. Calvin was one of them. We also had Bourdon. He actually was leading after the first night because Tommy V crashed, obviously, did pretty bad. And then Joe also crashed. Either crash or bike. I think it was a crash the first night. So, yeah, it was actually pretty interesting for the 250 class because you didn't know what was going to happen. It actually came down to the last race on Sunday, so that was pretty sick. But overall, Paris is great. I had a viral clip go off.
Let's go.
Handlebar race, a.k.a. Hobby MX, Hobby Cross. I was so confused what the heck they were talking about. I'm not going to lie. They were like, oh, this is Hobby Cross. I'm like, what the hell is Hobby Cross? Yeah, it's hobby horsing race. Like, you know, like the broomstick with the fake horse head. There's an actual thing called Hobby Horse, and it's like an event that they put on, and it's like a fake, like a horse type of thing, like a dog show, but with that. I'm not even gonna lie, dude. It's weird, but the clip went crazy. A lot of people liked it. A lot of people put it on their stories, which I very, very appreciated. I mean, it went crazy. I think Supercross needs to bring it, dude. Seriously, it would be so sick.
Hobby Cross,
Supercross 2025, Hobby Cross. Chug a beer, race to the pit bike. That I don't know if you have to chug a beer, but it would be pretty cool.
An energy drink of your sponsor.
Yeah, there you go. But no, it was actually pretty funny. I actually had someone hit me up on the DMs, which I still got to do. Actually, he was like, "Hey man, did you record Sunday's handlebar race?" I was like, "I didn't record it, but it's on the broadcast." He was like, "Oh, I can't get it. I actually won it. I was looking for the clip," and I was like, "I can clip it for you if you want." But yeah, so I thought that was kind of funny.
He wanted to have all this training paid off,
dude. For real. For real.
He was grinding.
For real.
At his training facility in Florida all year.
But yeah, so Paris Supercross, a W. Honestly, a W. We got one video out for you guys, the reactions, and that went straight up. I mean, did phenomenal on the YouTube channel, so that's huge.
Let's go.
I couldn't get. This is what makes me upset because I don't know how day one got posted, but day two is getting blocked. I don't know what I did differently or how I got day one to work. I don't even know. But day two got blocked, so I had to post it on Twitter. Which kind of
did you well on Twitter?
No.
Nothing does. nothing does well on Twitter.
I'm hoping that if I just keep posting stuff, it will. And so that's what I'm going to keep doing. All right.
Dude,
I'm just going to keep posting.
It's impossible to grow on Twitter. I deleted it.
I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to do it because I can post the reactions on Twitter and it looks like a YouTube video. So I'm going to keep doing that.
Freedom, you know?
Yeah. So, but yeah, Paris Supercross, big W. Great.
I thought it was cool.
Yeah, it was very, very
sick.
I
like I did not expect the podium.
No.
I don't think anybody did, but I was here for it, you know?
Yeah, Cooper crowned King of Prince, Tommy V, Prince of Paris, or what did I just say? Crown of Prince? That doesn't make sense.
Something
Crown of Paris, or King of Paris and Prince of Paris. But yeah, overall, big W for the watch parties too. It was awesome. And then this weekend we got World Supercross, which is going to be another W. We're going to do a watch party for that. I believe it's Saturday and Sunday. I believe it's a 2-day event, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it? This is Australia, right?
Yeah, it's in Australia. It's in Perth, but it's not part of the Australian Supercross Open.
Right.
That's next weekend, which we'll do a watch party for. So this one, it's just World Supercross in Perth.
I think it's a doubleheader.
Yeah, it's a doubleheader. And if I'm not mistaken, off the top of my head, it starts pretty good on Saturday. Like it's like 10 a.m. I think my time, which is pretty good. It's not like midnight where some of the races are. So watch party should be freaking phenomenal for that. I actually tried to hit them up, and I was like, yo, can we do a watch party? They have their Instagram DMs blocked because they have to follow you to message each other. Yep. I'm like, that sucks. I even posted on Twitter. I even comment back on Twitter. I'm like, who do I contact here? Because I went to their like email, like their website, and I was like, there's no contact really because I've already done this and nobody replied to me. So, but we got Tomac versus Kenny. Who do you have?
It's kind of hard to bet against Tomac. You know what I mean? He's kind of just that guy lately.
Yeah.
It's kind of I mean, like I said, when we first talked about this with Super Poles, which again, Paris is another great example of why we need Super Pole, because it was awesome.
Yes.
With how much points they're paying out for Super Pole, definitely still think Kenny could be in there, but
true.
Captain America is still pretty, you know.
I mean, Tomac kind of dominated. Yeah, Tomac dominated last time, so.
Yeah, kind of hard to bet against that feller. Although, wait, aren't the Lawrence brothers racing?
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so.
Mid.
Yeah, so I would like to know if.
Why not?
I don't know. I would like to know if like the Australian guys are though, because it's in Australia and there's going to be Honda teams over there, or like they're not allowed to do it. I don't really know. I think it would be cool. Because
I wonder if Shane's racing.
Yeah.
Oh no, of course he is. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
He's race. Oh yeah, he's already doing that, right? So
he was already.
But yeah, I don't know if the other guys are like Jed or anything. I don't think they are, but I think I'm right there with you. Tomac is going to dominate. Like what we saw from the Canadian GP, like he's back, man. Like he's back in form, and I just don't see. Man. I don't see Kenny stopping him unless he gets a bad start, which but like Tomac doesn't really get bad starts that much anymore, right? Like, especially in these off season. So, I would love to see a battle though. I would love to see them battle. You know, at least for a good 5-7 minutes. I think that would be cool.
The thing with a bad start in this series is like Tomac's still going to get second. You know,
he's probably first.
Right. I mean, like
at worst second.
It's not like Supercross where he might get a 6th or 7th or something. He's still probably going to get second. You know, at worst, like you said.
For my other for World Supercross, because Vince is part of it. Is Vince doing World Supercross this weekend, or is he going to the Arenacross this weekend? I mean, he made for some exciting moments last time, right? So, yeah, I don't know if he's racing that too, but I know, like you mentioned, the Australian boys are racing this, so that should be a lot of fun to watch. But yeah, I think you just can't bet against Tomac. Like I said, I would love to see a good battle.
Yeah, of course.
Roxon, Tomac, just a good back and forth maybe, or like last lap battle or something to that
Yeah, yeah.
nature. I think that would be a lot of fun to watch. I think it would be great for the fans too. Instead of just one guy leading by 30 seconds or what was it, like 20 seconds in Canadian
Yeah.
GP. So, but yeah, that's this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. I don't know what time Sunday starts, but I know Saturday is around 10 a.m. So we'll definitely do a watch party for that. And then let's talk a little bit about the new MX. Let's talk a little bit about MX bikes. We haven't brought it up in a little bit. I want to get your thoughts on SMX Round number 1. I played it, and I still got to do a clip for a big line that I somehow was able to get because I still use the 18s. But what did you think about round number 1?
Uh, Charlotte's mid. The track was fine. You know, like that layout is bad. You know, I mean, yeah,
I think just
but
in general, it's bad. The
yeah,
layout
I mean
was.
it's just bad. But I actually like. I mean, I think we were all excited to see the 2025 template of Supercross, right? We want to
Yeah,
see what
yeah,
it's going to be like. We got one rhythm section
yeah.
that's probably not even actually what it'll be like because,
Yeah,
you know, clearly they were teeing it up so that the Deegan line,
it's
you know, was
possible. And so,
possible, but
yeah,
also really, really hard, you know, which that they nailed it because like that quad when you're playing the real bikes, not the cheater bikes, like you play,
don't judge.
um, are that line is really tough. And you have to do, you know, I was there watching Deegan and he would, you know, come off the table and then turn the bike in the air and then sit into it
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and, you know, like do the
Like a
little
little
like
scrub
in
off
air
and then get it
scrub.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. Like scrub midair, you
Yeah, yeah,
know,
yeah.
like where he just turns over. And you kind of have to do that in real life too, or in the game. I mean, where you have to really come off of the table almost a little bit sideways so you don't clip, and then to get the quad, it's literally everything a 250 has, which is, I mean, it's sick. It feels just as challenging as it did. I didn't race because I told my wife I was gonna go on a date with her, and she said, "What day?" And I was like, I don't know, pick a day and we'll do that. And so she did, and she was like, "Does this work?" Yep, totally, you know, total dude thing where I
Don't.
didn't look, didn't look, just yep, that'll do. And so we did that. Honestly, it was a awesome date. We went on some super fancy restaurant and hung out, and it was far more enjoyable, I'm assuming, than racing aerial. I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and say that those like 5 hours that was just me and her, the kids were gone, we got to go out in town. You know what
Yeah,
I
no,
mean?
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Probably much better than uh racing aerial getting punted in the first corner and then having to come from 25th to you know, 8th.
Yeah, it's probably way, way better.
Yeah.
One thing about the track that when I was playing it that I like how they did was don't. It's not necessarily accurate or whatever, but it feels a little bit larger. And so like some of the lines there's multiple different ways to go through, which I thought was
Yeah, yeah.
very, very good, especially on like the back section, like after the rhythm section where Deegan did the quad.
Hmm.
It was multiple different lines, like
Yeah.
when you go straight, left, right, and then like that section there. Multiple different ways to go through that entire section, which I thought was very, very key. I didn't watch any of the racing, to be honest with you.
Same.
I was watch partying for Arenacross. So I didn't really watch much. But I will say this: that quad pretty easy when you have the old bikes, and
Of course they are.
I did want to try. So you know how that line it goes like double to a left, and then the rhythm section.
Hmm.
Well, actually, it goes double, and then like he put a roller in,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So I was like, okay, so I can't get this. I can't get enough like stop and go after the roller to get the quad that I wanted. It's like, how can I make this work? I literally cheated, went off the track, double into the corner, and then quadded
Mhm.
over the on off, and then quadded
She
again.
quad?
Yeah.
Dang.
I think
I
I
re
technically haven't quadded yet, but I knew that it was
Okay.
possible. I didn't want to get my like I wanted to get like a reaction out of it, but
Mhm.
that's how I was gonna do it. And I was like, oh, that's very, very simple. But
I, I really like that track. I put a absolute burner down and was like, "Oh man, this track's sick." Pulled up the qualifying times. Yeah, I don't know what
I
the
think we're
problem is.
mid. I think you're mid
I
now.
think I'm just bad at the game now. I mean, first of all, I actually was out. Like I said, I was out on the date. We got home. My wife was doing something, probably putting the kids to bed, and so I text my moderators, and was like, "Yo, what's the quality times?" Because I was just curious because I knew I ran like a 39 or I ran a 40.6 or something like that.
Okay.
So I'm like, "What's the quality times?" And they were like, "Top qual is a 39." And I was like, "Let's go!" And they're like, "You would have been second." And then I was like, "Wait, isn't that the LCQ times?" And they were like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" Now, the person that top qualled was Lightning McQueen,
Okay,
which
yeah, yeah. I know who that is.
he's fast.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
he's very good at the game. So then, but we couldn't see what qualifying times were for the 20 that transferred straight in. So because they didn't need to, because they transferred straight in. So I messaged Neon, and I know Neon is fast and is like capable of a top qual or top 3. And so I was like, all right, well, if I'm within like a second of him, I'm cool. Dude, he did like a 37-1, and I'm out here with like a 40.6. So basically, with a 40.6, if he was near top qual, like Lord forbid somebody was faster than him, you know, I'm like barely qualifying. And
Yeah.
same thing with the DDC tracks.
Yeah, the KBELL
DDC
tracks.
tracks, those KBELL tracks come out, and I'm like, all right, cool. I put down a 19 on Cleveland, 19.0. It's like, we're good. And then I pull up the qualifying times, and bottom qual is like an 18.2 or something. I was like, wait. Ugh. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I'm old.
I think you're just mid now. We don't play a lot, and dude, those kids, I don't think I've stopped playing since the new bikes came out. Um,
I'm gonna be
so
honest. I haven't played those bikes very much since they came out. I mean, I tested a ton of them, and then I went to California like right when they came out.
yep.
I can run consistent 17s now, so we've got it back. We're back. We're back. We're back. I mean,
I
after like 600 laps, but
I haven't touched them in a while.
yeah.
But I do know that SMX round was awesome. The way that they were able to accomplish it, even with like how the layout is in real life. The layout in real life kind of sucked, right? I want
Yeah.
to see how they're gonna do Vegas because Vegas real life layout was horrible too, in my
Yep.
opinion. So
Yeah. Hell
I
Machine
want,
already said it's bad.
yeah. So I want to see how that translates to the game. And then what was the second one?
Texas.
Texas. So Texas should be
The
pretty
Blue
good.
Groove track.
Yeah, so hopefully that one's pretty good because that layout was better, right? But the
It was
DDC,
really tight.
yeah, but it was still better than say like Las Vegas.
Yeah,
No,
I guess we'll see. I just don't know how to translate to bikes.
true,
It's
very
really
true,
tight. Like chicane, 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 5, chicane, chicane,
true,
it's
very, very, very true. Um,
a little tight.
and then the DDC tracks you brought them up. I mean, KBELL has done an amazing, amazing job. Aiden has done an amazing job with those tracks, in my opinion.
Yeah, those tracks are sick.
Yeah, dude, like they're super, super unique. Every single layout is so different, like so different. The way that he's making the jumps for the new bikes, I'm gonna say that it's probably very spot on, like 450s,
It's really good.
250s. And one thing I love about him too is like the scaling that he's using works so good for the old bikes because now we can hit some big lines. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it works out, I think, for both. I think it works out for the racing side of things. I think it works out for like clips and stuff. And then like I saw even a couple TikToks from you and Instagram posts from you, like racing against people and stuff. So I think the
Yeah.
racing side of things is very, very good. I did see though that second round, I believe the third round happened this past weekend, right? Or something like that, I think it
Yeah.
was. So the second round where it was I want to say like a 180 back around, and then it was like a sand section or something like that off the start.
Yeah. That's
So
technically round 1 because the first one was the
preseason.
preseason race, but round 1.
So yeah, so I heard from round 1 there was like a cheater line. So if you got off the start and just went to the sand, it still counted your lap, and people did that. So I heard that
Yep.
wasn't great for like the
I jumped in a server with Washed and
just calling him
Doug.
out.
Yep. No. I'm calling myself out here. I didn't know this was the first time I had ever raced this track before. We were all in a server together, and I got punted, classic, and I landed in the sand, and I thought that was the way to go, right?
Yeah.
Because it actually makes sense. So I just went and I completed the lap, and I'm like, "Where is everybody?" And Wash is like, "Oh, you cut the track, and like you're gonna get a ton of cuts from it." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, whatever." Like, I don't care. We're just screwing around.
Yeah.
I go across the finish line. It was 1 second of cuts, and I had a
Wow.
49-second lead on everybody. And so I can say that I gapped Wash by like 38 seconds in a
There you go.
5-lap race, but
There you go.
I may have had a 48-second lead.
Yeah, so that was like the only downfall that I saw from the first round. But I was
Yeah,
playing the second round last night a little bit to test for some clips, and bro, the scaling is freaking so good, dude.
that's
It's
sick.
so good.
There's tons of options too. Today I played Miami, which was the preseason.
Hmm.
For the first time, I had never played it before, and I just downloaded it and jumped into a server. And there's a rhythm section, like the really long rhythm section in Miami,
Yeah.
that I was in a race and people were going, when you come into that, it's like a 90-degree and you go on the table off. I was tripling over and we were like literally right next to each other doing complete opposite rhythms. That does not
Yeah.
happen in bikes very much, right? And I mean like literally we were both greasing and it was
Very,
near
very even.
identical. Right. Like if he clipped, I would pull ahead. If I clipped, he would be right there. It was really fun. And then I got gapped by some random kid. I don't even know who he was, but he was barking, like caught me and was just gone and had some like random name on THCXV34. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. This guy's that guy, I don't
Bro,
know.
I haven't been in a lobby in like 3 months. So,
Yeah.
but Aiden, big shout out to you for making some awesome
Yeah, for
tracks,
real.
bro. I'm so excited to just keep playing the ones that are coming out in the near future. So, I mean, it's every Saturday too. I like that
Mhm.
schedule. I think he had to do it on Saturdays because of Ariel starting in January.
Yeah,
Because DDC KBELL series is it was supposed to start super early, but it got pushed back and it goes through I think February or
yeah,
maybe
it's a long series.
yeah, it's like 12 rounds or something like that.
Mhm.
So honestly, so sick. Like even round two, I already know that I want to do like maybe 2 clips already. So
Yeah, yeah.
um, big W on that. And then a little bit more bikes. TC dropped like an enduro cross track that was actually pretty sick. And then I don't know
That's
what
sick.
you would call it honestly, but it's like an enduro trail, I guess you would say.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's the right
It's
terminology
sick.
for it, but
Yeah, it's really
yeah,
good.
bro, I'm not even gonna cap. I literally got to the point where there's like huge rocks, and I was like, pause, not going any further.
Yeah.
I want, well, no, I'm not gonna go any further. I want to record this because I
Oh,
want
yeah.
to see if I can make it through without crashing. So,
You can.
uh, I want to try.
Have you got
And
to the like, where the rocks and the logs are?
I think it was just rocks.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, so it should be great.
There's like a rock log maze. You're
Yeah,
cooked.
yeah. Basically, I'm cooked. But I thought it'd be cool for a little series, so that's why I kind of waited on it. And then we
That's
had
actually
obviously
cool.
this past weekend we had so much happening, so I didn't really get to record anything. So, um, but yeah, big shout to TC for dropping that. And that's kind of we have
We
obviously.
dropped I dropped Flovilla too, which
Oh,
I guess this was a while ago
it was like
now.
last
I
week,
mean,
right?
it was like last week, and it's doing really good. Like,
That's good.
I don't want to say surprisingly good, but I will, because even I messaged King and he asked me what the sales were at, and I told him, and he was like, "Dang, like I didn't think it was gonna be doing that good." I'm like, "Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
okay,
so I mean,
it's actually really
that's
fun."
yeah, Flowville is awesome. I actually have a clip ready to go, my second clip on it. Yeah, Flowville dropped. Make sure you guys go get that. We'll put that in the description
Tease
below.
anyway.
But yeah, this weekend for bikes, round 2 SMX, I'm assuming. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that.
It is.
And then DDC on Saturday. So the
Should
cool
I
thing
race
about
TDC?
that's up to you, my guy. I'll be watch partying, so I don't know about. But the cool thing that I actually really like what's happening in bikes now, even though I'm not really playing it that much, is the series going on. I know SMX got pushed back and stuff because of all the things that happened, but DDC is like a perfect off-season series for bikes, right? It's brand new Supercross tracks, unique tracks. They're really, really fun to race. They're very fun for pubs. And it gets you kind of lined up for Supercross. Well, it would have, right? It would have lined you up perfectly for Supercross. So I think Aiden killed it on that. I think Stone and everybody's killing it on the SMX stuff. Bike's in a pretty good spot, to be honest. Coming up next year, Ariel and stuff. So
I'm excited.
Yep. But yeah, those are the topics that we had today. I still can't believe there's beef between Deegan and Lauren.
Ridiculous. I mean, especially over that, I guess,
Yeah, like, just so random. So random.
2024. We're soft.
Yeah, so but
bully more.
First off, thank you guys so much for all the love on this podcast. For real. I think me and Doc both really, really appreciate it. We started a channel on TikTok for these clips, and man, like, I didn't know what to expect. Like, right, Doc? We didn't know what to expect. I was kind of second guessing myself even posting them on there. I'm actually really happy I did, because it kind of separates from our channels and we can just post it on there. I don't know what I want to do for Instagram, though, because we can collab with each other and post it on both. So I don't know how we want to do that yet in the future. But yeah, just appreciate every single one of you guys watching these and liking these and sharing these. We've had so many cool comments saying, hey, man, we love the podcast. We love everything about it. So really do appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys hit the like and sub if you guys want to see more of this. Make sure you guys go follow Doc's channel. Doc, have you posted a video this week?
I posted like 3 videos this week, dude. And we're like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure we're like 50 subs away from 30K.
That's a big fat W. So
wait, hold on. It could be 29K and I'm capping. Oh, no, it's 37 subs. I'm good at math. Away from 30K. So that
is absolutely huge, bro.
Yeah,
30K. Yeah, we're a little bit off of that, but we're growing. But yeah, make sure you guys go sub to his channel. Make sure you guys go watch his videos and like his videos. As you can see, I'm not a true friend because I didn't even know he posted 3 times. So, yeah, failure on my part. But with that being said, we appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for the love, and we'll catch you guys back here next week to talk about whatever happens next week. So we're out.
Yep.
Peace.
Bye.